Hi, welcome to Dance Chat. Today we have Melanie with us. Say hi.
Hi.
Can you do a bit of quick self-intro?
Sure. My name is Melanie Aguirre. I go as Melanie Ray, Brooklyn, New York. What else? I've been dancing for my whole life. And I've been professional for over 20 years.
Wow. For your whole life, as in you started when you were really young, like 2-3 years old?
Yeah, as a kid.
Like professionally training or?
I wouldn't say professional. I mean, my parents were my first teachers. I didn't even know there was a profession in dance. But, I mean, I was dancing, you know. So by the time I turned 6, I started ballet, jazz, tap.
Yeah, I don't know. Is your parents also like in the art space?
My mom and my father, they were both dancers. But they were club kids. So they used to just go to the clubs. Like, they didn't really take it professionally. My father used to break. He was a house dancer. And then my mom, she used to do jazz. So she used to train. But she never wanted to take it professional. But she used to do jazz. And my mom recently shared with me that she was a lambada teacher.
What is a lambada dance? Sorry.
It's okay. So lambada is this social style from Brazil.
Oh.
And then that went on to me becoming a teenager and then taking it serious as a profession.
So when did you start to take it seriously?
16 years old.
What did you do then? Like, why did you think that you become serious at that time?
Maybe because I was training at Broadway Dance Center and I was able to see other people and see an example of people taking it professionally. So, you know, if you don't see it, you don't know. So I was able to see it.
So what did you see? Are they like performing with artists on stage, or what in your eyes is a professional dancer at that age? And has it changed now? You know, how you view it?
Well, yes, it has changed. You know, when I first started going to Broadway Dance Center, I would see students that I then saw in music videos, and I would recognize them. And then I was able to understand that it's not just music videos. You know, you can have a profession in theater, you can have a profession in teaching, you can have a profession in, like, you know, artist development. So there's different lanes that you can go with dance that doesn't necessarily have to be like commercial and television and film.
So after that, what happened? How did you take a dance major, or like
No, I did go to college though. I went to John Jay, and that was actually for forensic psychology.
Oh, that has something to do with that, maybe.
No, it didn't. It didn't at all. But at the time, that version of myself loved the human brain, and I was obsessed with how I just was so curious about the distortion of like how people could want to create such harm to someone. And I was just like, I don't get it. And I was just obsessed trying to figure out what it was about.
But you were dancing on the side when you were in that major?
Yes.
And then after graduation, how did you like just all of a sudden decide that I want to be a dancer instead of just pursuing academics? Or
so I never graduated. I did 1 year, and then I was supposed to go on tour with this artist named Ashanti in Africa, and I was stuck with like midterms, and I knew then that that was not what I wanted to do. I was like, I could be in Africa right now. So that's when I made the decision to drop college and stick with dance.
But did you go on that tour, or is it just a trigger?
Oh, I know.
Wow, that feels...
It's icky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, no, it wasn't like that in my house. Like, my mom, she was like really into making arts and crafts, and she would like decorate clothing and like just. She was always. And then she became a hairstylist. My mom was switching paths left and right, and she became a really amazing hairstylist. You know, so yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's really important. And I think it was really important for my upbringing to see that my mom wasn't afraid to start over in a creative way.
Yeah.
You know? So me seeing my mom an example of that, like I wasn't afraid to be like, you know what, if this doesn't work for me, I could try something else, you know, it's okay.
But it must be scary, right? Because you were on like a proper educational track, I don't know, and then you just decided to drop out. What happened? Did you all of a sudden like signed up with an agency already?
I was already signed with an agency.
Even when you were in that major?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So you kind of were having two career paths at the same time?
Exactly that. Yeah. I was like living two lives. I would go to school, and then right after school, Broadway Dance Center wasn't too far from John Jay, so I would just walk there.
And take class.
Yeah.
And live your dancer life.
Yeah.
But academics kind of blocked your way to like go full out on that.
Exactly that.
And then what happened afterwards? That was when you're, I guess, 18-ish, right?
Right.
Has there been like a very transitional moment in your dance career? Like, I just wanted to know, because it's been so many years. You said you've been in this industry for 20 plus years, right? So what, at that point when you decided to go professional, like, have there been a couple of moments that you can still like remember and think, oh, that changed my career?
Oh, there's so many moments. I guess some of my favorite moments was like when I decided I wanted to be a competitive dancer. And
like
that was
to go to battles?
Battles, yeah. Like in the beginning, that was not what I was about. I wanted to dance behind artists. I thought that was the key to success, and I thought that was what it was. And then when I found competition, that's where I think I found my freedom. Like that, no, I'm gonna rephrase that. That is where I found my freedom.
Oh, so before that you were just doing choreography, like commercial,
right.
Trying to be a backstage dancer?
Correct.
When did you, like, what do you mean know about, like, you didn't even know that the battle existed?
No.
I mean, I relate to that, because I feel like the choreography kids, we were just like executing the piece of choreo. We never knew that there was more to dance than that.
You have to understand, I'm a beginning millennial. So we didn't have Instagram.
Oh.
We didn't have Facebook at that time. We had, but I didn't know about
freestyling,
the culture of it. You know, because at that time I was still really young, so I couldn't even get to clubs. Once it was that pivotal moment that I turned 21, that's when the world changed. I was able to go to the club, you know?
I see.
So I was able to see, oh, they have battles, oh, they have parties, oh, this, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So 21 is when you start to like go into the competitive world. Did you like jump into battles all of a sudden? Because for me, I think the transition from choreography to like freestyling or battling, it took me really long. And I think, I don't know what your story was, but I feel like to execute someone else's piece is very different from just deciding what you want to do to music. And that, to me, the transition is not natural. So
I just threw myself in there.
Oh.
It was a party called House Dance Conference, and they had a Whacking versus Vogue competition, and I was like, I'm doing it. And
you just jumped in?
I jumped in, and I made it to the finals. Yeah.
I think
it was me and Javier and Ninja.
I think that's called like the golden child or the gifted ones. It doesn't make sense to me, but I think, wow.
I think I have something that my mom like gifted me, and it was just like, if you want to do something,
go do it.
Just do it, and don't care about what anybody else. Like I never cared about what other people thought about me. I never cared about how I looked. You know, I did it because I wanted to do it. So I think my mindset was very like clear, strong, and it knew what it wanted.
Wow.
So I went to that competition and I did my thing.
You already know what your thing was, even though you never tried like competition or freestyle.
No, yeah, it's true.
That's I don't know how that happened. Like, to me, I think this whole thing is not natural. I have to think about it, but I mean, maybe for some people it's just you already know who you are in dance. And
Yeah, I think so. I think that's why, when I first came out, like there was a gravitation to my classes. Like back then, my classes used to sell out, because I felt very secure in who I was and my body and my dance. I practiced a lot. So when the music was on, I was in the music. The only thing that was important to me was my relationship with the music.
I feel like you're saying all the right things, like your mentality and the fact that you don't care about what people think and that you are only focusing on the music. Like these are things that people nowadays tell us all the time, but people have a hard time trying to like get into that. Right. And I think to you it's probably just natural. And that's gifted child.
Oh, thank you. I think it's choice, Like I think it's like you have to like condition yourself, like condition your mind, because we're all human, and we might see certain people that may be intimidating, but I always had like a way to be like, they're human, they're not above me, they're a colleague, they're equal. I was able to always quickly shift my perspective so that I can move forward faster.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a lot of coaching, self-coaching.
I think your psychology training maybe actually helped in that sense. Because, especially battle, it's a lot of mental battle too, right? Like
a lot of mental. Actually, battling is all strategy. It's like you have to be mindset, strategy. You have to know your opponent's strengths, weaknesses, or you can care less about it and just do your best and do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Really set your soul on fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you took the latter one path. Like when you're first doing it, I'm like, did you already know your opponents going in there in the conference, or?
Yeah.
And you studied them?
I knew some of them. Yeah.
Okay, curious. How would you study them? Like you watch their footage and you analyze.
No, there was none. No, remember?
Oh right. Oh no, my god!
You had to see them in person.
And you just build a profile of what they do and analyze their strength and weakness.
Yeah, all I needed to see them go down a couple of times in the cipher, and I knew their strengths. I knew their weaknesses.
Wow.
Yeah, I could tell if they were like insecure.
Oh.
Yeah, I could tell if they were too performative and it didn't come from their heart.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
I now know what you mean, but I don't think, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have understand what that is. No.
And and someone be like, oh, you're being judgmental. Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah.
Especially when you're competing. You have to watch your opponents. You have to make judgments. You have to be like, okay, they're strong in this, but I'm strong in this. So they don't have that. So when I compete against them, I'm doing this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Oh. I know what you mean, but I think you naturally know it. The fact that you don't have a coach to tell you how to do that, and you naturally know how to do it is amazing.
Right. Right.
But also, I guess why did you choose whacking the first time you entered the battle?
Well, at that time, whacking had just made a resurgence, and I really fell in love with the dance. I did a lot of styles, but that one, I felt like it was in my body, in my skin. So when I saw the competition, I said, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna show up, because I knew that it was strong in me. So that's what happened.
I guess that's a question. For me, I still couldn't fully figure out which style I want to focus on and dive deep in. I guess I don't know what is that feeling of, oh, this style is different. I assume you also like hip hop and house,
of course,
right? And I feel the same way. I feel like every style has something to offer, and it kind of unlocks a different part of me. But I don't know, what is that feeling of, oh, this is destined, this is gonna be my style. I still haven't got that moment yet.
I feel like it's the style that comes the most natural. It's like that one style that you start learning and it feels good in your body, you're getting it quick, you're not like struggling, you know, like for example, for breaking, I struggle so much and I still take it. Like I still train in breaking and I suck, but I know that breaking is not, it's not coming to me as easy. When it came to whacking and when it came to like belly dancing and even samba, like those styles, I got them very quickly.
Like it's like a really deep foundation. I think that would help with all the other styles. So I became interested in that, but I feel like I've never seen a street style or choreography friend take ballet dance. I've never seen that before. So I feel like, is it at your time, is that like a more common thing where people just do? No, it's just you.
I don't think so. I just always wanted to belly dance since I was a little girl.
Oh.
I knew I wanted to be a belly dancer I remember, I think I was in the 4th or 5th grade. I was like, when I grow up, that's what I'm gonna be. And that's what I became. So, I say if you find the essence of a dance really quickly, then that's probably the dance for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That allows you to shine in your radiance, it like ignites you. You're able to be really seen and like you're able to give over to the style. You understand?
Wow. I think, but also you tried so many styles, right?
Oh, I love it. I still do.
And how do you balance between like focusing on one style and like develop really deep in that style versus being versatile and like branch out to learn all the different styles?
I'm a little bit older now, and I'm a mom. So right now I don't put pressure on myself. If I have the capacity and space to take a class or do a training and I do it and I pick up what I pick up, that's fine for me, When I was younger, I devoted a lot of time to specific styles and seasons. So, I would have a season where I just wanted to focus on whacking. And there'll be a season where I just wanted to focus on voguing. And another one that I just be like, okay, I'm just going to do hip hop. So I would either take like 2-3 months and it would just be that. And I would just do that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because I feel like if you're learning a lot of different styles at the same time, your body is very confused and like it kind of...
Believe it or not, you shouldn't underestimate your body. Your body is actually very intelligent and it's capable and it's willing if you offer it.
Mm-hmm.
So, the other day I took a hip hop class, I took like a flexibility class, I took a jazz class, and then I took house. And my body was like sore, but I felt good, and I gave it vocabulary that it can play with later, so it's really, really up to you how you want to tailor your training. As long as you have consistency, you should be fine.
I see. Mm-hmm. But would that be like when you enter the whacking battle, but because you've done, I don't know, belly dance and house, does it come out in that battle, and is that okay to kind of have a style and that's fused with other styles too?
Yes.
Like,
I think I encourage it. As long as it still has like strong foundation and you're able to infuse it where it still has integrity to the original style, I think it's really important to show your arsenals, Like I've done it. I've done like broke up into whacking, into which broke up is from flexing. Well, actually broke up is before flexing, but I feel like right now we're in a very integrated time, so it's really important for you to show your strengths. So I wouldn't say like definitely just be very like what's the word, I guess like, I don't know, I'm losing my words, but like, like very like predictable. I don't think predictability, especially when it comes to competition, is going to be in your favor.
Yeah, it's always good that you have multiple tools to pull out whenever you want to.
And play, you know, especially if you're doing an all-styles battle, you better live your best life.
Yeah. I think for all styles you would thrive, because how should I put it? I feel like nowadays, even though we're all under the umbrella of dance, like street style is its own thing, and then contemporary ballet, jazz is its own thing, and belly dance, I'm kind of recently I feel like I've really been curious about like belly dance, because I feel like the way they manipulate how they breathe, and you know how it's very intricate and nuanced movements, and I think there's so much again golden child traits. Like I feel like you know what you want at a really really young age.
Yeah, same thing with my child. She's like little. She was like maybe like 5 or 6 years old. She's like, I want to be a DJ, and she's a DJ. You gotta listen to the kids. They know what they want, you know? Like, especially if you give a child, like, autonomy, you give them space to figure out what they like, what they want. They know what they want to explore. I can't say that it's a career that is secure. It's been always up and down, up and down. But I can say that, you know, if you work hard and you know what you want and you build the relationships and you put yourself out there, you can definitely make a career out of it. If I did it, and I did it after being a mom, you can do it too. Anybody could do it. You
did it after being a mom. Actually, like, when did you have Julie?
2015.
So that was when you were how?
I was 31.
So, but you were already like signed with the agency when you were really young, right? So you had like, how has your career changed before and after being a mom? I've always been curious about.
My career has changed. Not much, to be quite honest. The only thing is right now I'm no longer signed with my agency. So that's the only thing that has changed. But as far as me performing like on a weekly basis, I teach on a weekly basis. That hasn't changed. I still travel. Nothing has changed. After I had my daughter, I went to China.
Oh.
Yes.
Where?
Oh my God, what part of I went to... it's with an X. I don't know.
Xi'an or...
I would have to get back to you on that.
It's okay.
But I went for a dance competition.
Ah.
And I at the time I was breastfeeding, so I stored a whole bunch of milk for my daughter. I went there for like almost a week, and yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I think nowadays, especially I don't know, for dancers, they care, like they are afraid that they're gonna lose shape if they have a kid, right? Like, or they have to at least, because the whole pregnancy process and then after delivering a baby, probably need to rest. Like that's gonna be a year-ish that you step away from the dance world. Has it been?
No, it wasn't. I had a child before my daughter, and that one I lost my son. It was like a whole recovery. So I recovered in 6 months, and I was already back on stage.
Wow.
Yeah. With my daughter, I had her natural, and she was such a good like labor. I didn't have any injuries, no harms. I was teaching again in 2 weeks after I had her.
That was amazing. I think like in Chinese tradition, you know, for women after she delivered the baby, there's some sort of procedure. You have to be in bed and like you can't even wash your hair and everything.
No, you better wash your hair.
That's actually a thing. I've never been through that, but I've heard.
Yeah, no, you better wash your hair. You don't want icky hair. But no, honestly, I think that if you keep moving and you keep exercising and you like, I think that if you go down the path of not doing anything, you're gonna have a longer recovery. But if you get up, start doing your exercises, because what happens is the stomach, it splits. You have to start doing exercises to regain those muscles to come back. So you can get your core strength back. And they're very small exercises. You can do them laying on the floor. But you know, I would exercise with my daughter. You know, I would do squats. I play around with her. We work out together.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
And also, like when you were having her, like when you were pregnant, you kept dancing.
Yes, I did. I belly danced. I was teaching belly dance 2 weeks before my labor. Yes, so I kept moving.
2 weeks before, you can still do the shake your. I know the belly, like they have the belly roll thingy.
I couldn't belly roll. That was like stuffed with a child.
Yeah, right.
But when it came to like any belly stuff, it wasn't happening. You know, I was maxed out. But like shimmies and like, you know, undulations and like, you know, things that had to do with waving. I could do the other stuff.
Mm.
But you gotta keep moving. Like,
wow.
I'd say that, like, I think that society is making women afraid to have children because of they want to create depopulation. And that's just my personal thoughts. But it's actually in our nature to have babies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thank God that I decided to have my daughter, because I think, what if I get old? Who's going to take care of me?
Yeah.
Who am I going to share my life with?
Yeah, right now I think you guys have a beautiful relationship, right? Like the fact that you go to dance and she dances too. Like it's almost like you have a playmate.
Yeah. We're
And
constantly playing around.
right?
She'll be like, she'll show me moves. She challenges me, like I'll do it. You know, we keep each other accountable.
Yeah, you're like playmates and also colleagues one day, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's a beautiful relationship to watch, and the fact that you take her to all the, like, to some classes. Like when I first met you at the expression session, like you took her to class and she's taking your class too. I don't know. It's just, to me, to watch, I'm like, I want to be her, to have a mom that's, you know, so artistic and like just allow me to do everything, and we're kind of friends with each other. And
yeah, I think it's important, you know. I do my best to expose her to everything.
mm-hmm.
So like, I've taken her to parties with me. Like very young, she was already going to like events, like dance events. I have a competition that I won, and I have a video of like her. She had to be like 10 months, and I won that competition 10 months after I had her.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you just made so many things that I thought was impossible possible.
The battle that I did like 3 months after, 3 or 4 months, because she was born in August, and I don't remember if I went in October or November to China. I got second place.
Wow.
Mind you, I was like fresh out of like having a child. Yeah, second place. Yeah. So
yeah.
It's really like this, you know?
Just condition your mind.
Condition your mind, condition your body, get like really into your craft, you know, and just, you know, and the only person that could put limitations on you is you. And I think that another thing is you gotta be really, listen, I'm always by myself, and it's really important because your environment is going to shape your mind. And if you have people around you that don't want to see the best in you and don't want to see you shine and allow you to share your radiance, that's going to bring your energy down.
Mm-hmm.
So once people start giving you that shade, you cut them off. Don't look back. I don't care if they're adorable, you had a crush on them, none of that, because they contaminate your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So really pay attention to people's words, pay attention to their actions. If it doesn't align with how you want to be seen in the world and how you want to show up in the world, you got to cut them out because they're not good for you.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah. Your environment is super important.
So the fact that you're by yourself a lot, you think it's like cutting off a lot of contamination, and
Yes.
that allows you to fully be yourself. And
Yes.
but now you have your daughters.
Yeah.
You're on the same team.
Yeah, we're definitely on the same team. Sometimes I look hideous, and she's like, "You're so beautiful, mommy." I'm like, "Wow, she really loves me."
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm like, "Oh." I look at myself. I'm like, I don't know what she's looking at, but thank you. I'm all tired, looking like a raccoon.
wow, but I mean. But the fact that you kind of seriously started to train after you're 16 and then you got into you first know about battle after you're 21. She's already
battling.
Right?
Yeah, she's already battling. She got trophies. She's winning. Yeah.
Oh my god.
She's doing good. She's doing good for herself. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like your like example case study. Mom and daughter.
Yeah. You know, another thing that I have to say about confidence, and I really, whoever is listening out there, your confidence comes from you sticking to your word with yourself. So if you say, I'm going to work out tomorrow, you better work out tomorrow, because if not, it's going to affect your confidence. Mm-hmm. And then the more you break your word with yourself, it affects your confidence. So if you keep doing the things that are sometimes hard, like consistently working out, consistently showing up to class, it's, you're tired, but you're still in dance class, those are the moments where you start really building confidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you start to love yourself more.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. I'll get injured, but I'll train something else. So let's say if I busted my knee, I'm training upper body.
I did that too. I was still in the gym yesterday.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll be practicing isolations on top. I don't think you should stop, in my opinion. Yes, rest. You have to, but when you can move, you should. If your lower body's injured, practice upper body. There's so many things. You can work on your waves, you can work on your pops, you can work on your grooves, you can work on so many things.
And I think it's also because you took so many different styles. So to you, dance is not just house steps, it's not just hip-hop bounce, it's also undulation from or belly dance, even trying to control your belly. It's all these things. So there's not one point where all of your body parts are injured to a point where you can't do anything, right?
Right.
I guess, because I'm really curious about the belly dance part. How does that affect your street dance? Or do you consider that the part of the same, all under the dance folk umbrella, and it's all connected?
There is a lot of connection in it. Especially when it comes to waves. I'll take a lot of street waves that I learned from Future, or I learned from, being around Big Mike, and just being around the boys, and I put it in my belly dance.
Oh.
And it looks good. And I'm like, okay, it looks feminine, it still looks good, and I keep it. And I use it in my shows.
Wow. Then how has belly dance affect street dance? Has it?
There's times where I've done all styles battles, and I've used certain hip isolations and certain belly rolls, and it looked good. Yeah. So I feel like it's always been an opportunity for me to cross styles, where I can take from one and put it to the other and make it make sense, and it's fun.
I mean, for belly dance training, is it also a studio training type, or is it a club, or is it, where do you even go to school? I'm just asking for myself too, if I wanted to.
So, I'll be honest with you, I started on YouTube.
Oh. Wait, so then it has YouTube and materials already.
By the time I started belly dancing, YouTube came out.
Okay.
I know. But I don't suggest that now. And then I started training. And then I got with a belly dancing company, and then it was called Dance Soul Company. Shout out to them. Samantha Diaz, she really poured into me, and she taught me how to belly dance. Samantha Diaz currently still teaches belly dancing. There's also Belly Queens, awesome. Keshi, she's great. I'm speaking of Samantha Diaz, coming up this month in March, there's going to be a belly dancing festival, and I will be there and I will be training. There's going to be different belly dance teachers from all over the world that are coming into town. So I'm going to take advantage because I will always be a student. So I always want to see how people do things their way and how I can make it my way, you know?
Like grasp something and add to your craft.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
Yeah, because I don't know, for me I'm like a jock in a way, like big time jock. So I'm thinking about, okay, this is this season and now I gotta prepare for the next season. So my preparation, I usually try to do like winter and spring, like that's training season. So by the time summer comes and fall comes, I'm strong, I'm different. I don't want to come out the same. And even if I do come out the same, I still have a little twist, you know?
When you say training season, do you mean like taking classes or
yes,
going to the gym, conditioning?
Taking classes, going to the gym, definitely like conscious working out. Lately I've been a little sick and a little recovery mode, but once I recover, I will be back in the gym. I just got a shout out to Broadway Dance Center. I got a scholarship from them. So I get classes at a discount rate, and I'm back.
Yeah, because they recently raised their price. It's actually
Lord,
expensive.
they sure did. I was like, oh. But then I saw that they had the scholarship, and I applied for it, and I received it.
Oh, that's
so yeah.
Congrats.
I'm getting it at like a super discount rate. Super discount rate.
That's good.
And yeah, so that's the goal, is just to take more classes, be around people that love dancing, that, you know, that I can be inspired by. Because that's all you really need, is just like high level dancers to be inspired by.
But where do you find these people? I think back in the days when you talk about house dance conference, because I saw Brian Green, like he during a video talk, like he showed us those footages, like a little clip of it.
Ever.
Yeah, and I'm like, how come? Like it's like the best dancers of all styles are all in the same room and everyone knows everyone. I feel like nowadays a lot of things are happening, but also it's all so scattered, and I don't see like one event where everyone is together.
Yeah, I can't say that exists right now. You know what I mean? I mean, today there was that one All Styles event, and I hope that, you know, that's the start of a comeback for where everybody's in one house. I mean, I used to have a company called Rep Your Style, and that jam, everybody was in like under one roof. I don't have the capacity to host events right now, you know. Hosting events in New York City has been really challenging. You need sponsorship, you know, and like the sponsorship is different. Like I used to get my sponsor from Red Bull, and they used to give me financial sponsorship, and then towards the end they wanted to give me product placement, and I'm like, this is not gonna pay the bills. It's not gonna pay my judges. It's not gonna pay, you know. So it just got challenging. So I don't know, maybe one day I'll find a way to like bring back events where it brings the community together, but right now it's not in the forefront. It's a lot of work. I loved it though.
Wow. You've done so many things.
I have. I really have.
Yeah, and like wearing so many different hats. I think that's another misconception I had about dancers. I used to thought that they dance, and later on realized if you actually decide to take this career, you have to be like a manager, like you're managing yourself as a company, and you have to do like sales and like marketing and organization work and applying for grants, and that's a whole lot of things.
Yep, it really is.
Respect. But I feel like, because you've been through all these times, how do you think the dance scene has changed in the past 20 years? Like comparing now with when you like first started, or comparing now with the time that you liked best during those years, like what could we have done better, or what are something that you really like that you couldn't see nowadays?
I think we kind of scratched on it when we spoke about like house dance conference.
Yeah.
And like all the styles being under one roof on a monthly basis. I think that's what's missing right now in New York City. It's like these events that bring opportunity for networking, where you're able to see people in person and speak to them, and maybe you figure out ways to collaborate with each other. I feel like because now everything is so digital and like there's not enough events, it makes it really challenging to like collaborate. So I don't know, I think that's right now the one thing that it stands out the most for me.
Because I think like everyone's doing their own thing. Like street style hip hop has their own stuff, and this hip hop people goes there, and tap dancers do their own thing, and you rarely see them collaborate or cross paths, and unless you consciously decide that you want to try everything. But that takes time, I think, for you to be a pro, like to get to some level in all these styles, and to like know the right people, and to even like put yourself out there and ask them that if you want to collaborate. I feel like you have to be at a certain level to even do that, right? I'm not sure.
I think with consistency, it shows respect. It shows that you're serious about what you're doing. If you take let's say you decide tomorrow you're going to do tap, and you're there 4 times a week for a whole year, I think it's credible enough for be like, hey, would you be open for a collaboration? I have this space, and I would love for you to be a part of this, and they'll take you serious, whether you're the best student or you're not, because you've built a rapport. You've showed up, they see you growing, and you've been consistent. Yeah. And it shows respect to your craft. And just showing up consistently is already telling that the type of character you are. It shows your character. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow, I see. I feel like maybe other people are looking at things differently from what you're looking at. Like when I walk into the room, or when I feel like I would think, oh, they're all high-level dancers, but probably they're looking at you based on something else. It's not how good you are, but how consistent you are, how you show up, and like your characters, how you talk to people, are you kind, like all these different things, right?
Right.
Interesting. I've never thought about it that way.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Even though like I was like, when I first started dancing or anything, I never was intimidated by my teachers. I always saw them as people. And I think that if students remind themselves that they're your teacher, but they're still people, and they're still approachable, and if you've invested in them because you trust in them, they're gonna, if it aligns, because not all teachers are created equal, you know what I mean? Then they'll take you serious. If you propose something and it's like legit, and it's presented in a way that's like, I don't know, delicious, you know what I mean? Like, or like attractive, yeah, why not?
Cool. Yeah, I'll think about, like, I think I never thought about it that way, but I think in our culture there's always a distance between like the teacher is a teacher and your students. You should pay respect, you should almost like keep your distance and be professional in that sense. So I think
that's not going to work in this industry, because you have to have your network, you have to have your relationships, and you also want to be friends with them. It's like I think I get called back in certain spaces is because people enjoy being around me. Like, I know sometimes I could be serious, but there's also that part of me that's kind of a goofball too. You know what I mean? And I have like once in a while I even shock myself with the clever things that I come out with. I'm like, wow,
like witty moments.
Yeah, those witty moments, And you want to enjoy the journey that you're in, like not be so serious and have fun. Like, we're dancers. We're not supposed to be serious. We're supposed to be having a good time,
Yeah.
In my opinion, still show up, professional, but still like find space to have a good time.
Yeah.
I
see. Because I guess also on the training part, because I know like jazz, ballet, it's a very studio based, like curriculum based, and you show up and they teach your technique. It's like so scientific. But I feel like when it comes to street styles, especially house, everybody told me like, if you want to learn house, you gotta go to those clubs and like.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
I mean, what's the difference between like a studio setting, like a class, versus a club? Like, is that still practice, or how? Why is that different, and why is that so essential?
Well, because it's the culture. The dance wasn't created in a studio, so it's like, okay, you got kind of like the upper hand, because now you're learning it in this like container. But now it's your obligation as an artist to take it out of this container and really apply the information you're getting. And the only way you're going to apply it is being free on the dance floor, not caring if people are looking at you, and doing whatever you want in whatever sequence. And if you want to twist it up and you're play. You know what I mean? That's what a club is about. You find your little corner, you find your little space. Maybe you get a little bit of courage and you're like, listen, step to the side, this is my song. And you do it in the cypher, you know what I mean? But that is what the club is about. It's about applying the stuff that you've been obtaining up until that moment and making it your own, and really, like, again, just exercising it.
So it's like a lab, but with a lot of people. It's like a library. You're all doing your homeworks together.
Yeah. In a way, but in a fun way,
So the difference between like doing that you're at home, like just playing music and doing that yourself, versus being in a crowd and having your small corner, is it the energy in the room that's contagious, or is it?
I think so too. It could be the energy in the room that's contagious. Also, there's going to be personalities there that you might be inspired by, and you'll be like, oh wow, they did the chase that way. You know what? I'm gonna just try it, and you try it, and then you have some arsenal now. You have something new, So it's an opportunity to be inspired. It's an opportunity to be around certain energies that, I guess, for lack of better English, that give you permission to be yourself too.
If everyone shows themselves and you just find that space too.
Yeah, and you're like, wow, look at all these people just being themselves, doing their thing, loving this song, and you do the same.
Maybe I didn't went to the right club, but I feel like I've only been to a club twice or 3 times. And one time, like, DJ Spinna is spinning and the music's so good, and that night I do feel like I'm not caring and I'm just in there. But there are other times, like, I feel like, first of all, if it's a club, it's not all dancers, and sometimes, like, people are just drinking and I don't know what they're doing. Like, I actually don't feel comfortable in that space. And people talk about you're in the club and you should be free and you should, not care. But I wasn't. I'm so, like, self-conscious in that space.
Yeah, not every environment is the same. And I feel the same way about you. Like, I don't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
So being around people that are intoxicated, it's very difficult for me.
Yeah.
So, like, my party that I like to go to right now is Soul in the Horn. And I stay away from the bar. So wherever the bar is, I'm on the other side. Yeah. I
feel that way because also people had been telling me, because I feel like when I first got into freestyle, I was so, like, in my head and thinking a lot. And they're like, take a drink and that's...
No.
Right? And I'm like, I don't want to use that. If there's 2 possibilities of using alcohol. One, I use it and I'm still not feeling good, then it's not useful to me. Or I use it and I did become sort of creative or let loose in a certain type of way, and then I become addicted to it, I always gonna use it, right? So I was like, I don't want that. I want to be able to like in my head and thinking a lot, and they're like, take a drink and that's
No.
right. And I'm like, I don't want to use that. If there's two possibilities of using alcohol. One, I use it and I'm still not feeling good, then it's not useful to me. Or I use it and I did become sort of creative or let loose in a certain type of way, and then I become addicted to it, I always gonna use it, right? So I was like, I don't want that. I want to be able to like consciously go into that space with control so that it's free for me. Then when I want to enter that zone, I could. And I never tried it, but I feel like a lot of people use alcohol or some sort of substance to and they think it's free and it gets them to a certain.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. I mean, I don't drink alcohol. I will not do it. It's
bad for your body.
It's bad for your body. It's bad for your spirit. It's bad for your brain. They call it spirits for a reason, and I really believe that it brings in demonic entities. I've seen people's eyes go black, and they've done really like sinister stuff, like hit their partners and violence, and it's just like, I don't want no part of that. I'm trying to have a good time, you know what I mean? So alcohol, I don't mess with. I think that it's important to go to the club and stay sober, in my opinion, because if you do something over and over and over again, maybe in the beginning your body is cold, but if by like 20 minutes you start warming up again, and then by the time you know it, you've unlocked something naturally. You know what I mean? And you don't have to have any influences for creativity. You just need to like get out of your own way, So it just takes for you to keep moving, in my opinion.
Sometimes like repeat, and then your body gets tired of it, and it naturally kind of becomes creative in some way.
Yeah, or maybe not even repeat. Like you're just moving, dancing, even if it feels like repeat, and then you try something different, and then you go back to, your I call it like your signature move.
Comfort zones.
Right. And listen, I always have my rest move.
Oh yeah.
You just go back to it and you just keep moving. It's active rest, right?
Yeah.
But I think the youth is much better than my generation. My generation was like real drinkers, The younger generation is not drinkers.
Because I think, I don't know, my opinion on alcohol and drugs in general is also that we're not athletes, but there's athleticism in dance too, and you should take care of your body like an athlete, right? Like, and they control their weight. They build muscles, and they care about their diet, and because it affects how your body's going to recover. So we should all pay attention to all of that too, and I don't think they were going to abuse alcohol or drugs in the name of wanting creativity or something.
Yeah,
right?
I agree 100%. I think that those that are depending on that for creativity are not being honest with themselves, and it's kind of like a self-sabotage in a way, so. And
it's a long career and a long life. I don't want to, even if you do get some sort of benefits in the short term, it's gonna be a long-term harm, so.
Correct.
Yeah, I decided if it takes time for me to actually go there and be creative, then I'll just take the time that I need to take, and and if I'll wait until when it's the right time and I unlock it.
Usually it just takes that one song to unlock it. You know what I mean? Really? Where you're like, everybody turns into colors. I can't see faces no more.
Oh, maybe I feel like the club thing. I still haven't tried enough of it. And also I think another thing is because it's usually like so late night, and people say they enter a different zone when it's like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. and you're so tired, and it's like you're just dancing with your spirits and stuff. But I don't know, to me it's like I don't even stay. I only stayed up late one time for like a really important exam. Like I never do that, and like I feel like if you're in a club, it's already so loud and so many what is it like overwhelming, you know, like and when you go home, it takes time to like cool down and then actually go to sleep. And even if it's Friday, I think it's still like it's like then you're adjusting your time zone twice a week.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. I respect that outlook because you're right. It's really hard to, excuse me, it's really hard to come down from the stimulation of being in a club.
Like knowing what you know now, if you could go back in time and tell your younger self some advice or, you know, some could have, would have, should have, what would that be? And maybe you can like implement it on Truly. And I thought you probably already would have.
I definitely would say do not drink.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in my 20s, I used to drink. You know, I didn't know any better. My family, they're Puerto Rican, so I was exposed to like alcohol really young.
Mm-hmm.
Like my family used to let me drink alcohol at 16.
16,
yeah,
that's
which,
young.
I look back and I'm like, I don't think that was a good idea, family. But, you know, I just think that culturally they didn't see alcohol as a bad thing. So that would be one thing that I'd be like, don't do it. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? You know, I definitely think that learning how to be a conscious eater would be another thing that I would really propose to my daughter or my students. Yeah. I wish my younger self had better habits of like not eating fast food, you know, like not drinking. You know, I would even say like, I'll be even honest, I think even like the relationships I had with men, not having those. You know? I think like I think hookup culture is really not good for artistry. You know, like if you're really focused on wanting to become somebody and you're dealing with multiple different people, how are you supposed to focus on your career? Like, it's not realistic. Especially if they're texting you and they want to spend time with you, and then there's another person, and it's just like hooking up with one person, it not working out, going to the next person, then maybe going back to them, and then like...
Oh yeah, a lot of chaotic
a lot of
drama.
Chaos, yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like multiple people. And I think that version of myself when I was younger just like wanted attention from a man, because to be honest, I didn't have an upbringing with my father. So I think I, you know, was trying to find that, you know, in a romance, like a romantic partner. But, you know, if I can go back, like that would not be the case. I would never do that again. You know, I would prioritize myself, my career, my well-being, and what it is that I ideally want to do in my life, period.
But I think it's the learning curve. I think somehow I see, it's an interesting observation for me, but I feel like sometimes I see people's dance all of a sudden goes to the next level, and I ask them what happened, and it's usually they had a breakup. You know?
Right.
And I think there's explanation to that, because I think when you decide to break up with someone, you actually decided to let go, and you know more of who you are. It became clearer, and that shows in your dance. Like it's like more maturity. You know exactly what you want to present and what you don't want to present, and like you just have a clearer and stronger sense of self.
Right.
And I think that also shows in the dance. It's not even about technique. It's just all of a sudden they became someone different, and their dance is just a different level. And so I think maybe these are what you have to go through to become who you are, you know?
Yeah. No, I think you're right about that. I think I needed, you know, I don't regret anything that's ever happened in my life at all. But to go back to your first question, you were like, what would you say to the youth?
Yeah.
What would you say to your daughter?
Yeah.
And that would be it. It would be like, mind
yourself.
Mind your people. Like, make sure, like, whoever you're going to enter into your life, that they earn you. Like, that it's real, that it aligns, that it feels good. The minute it starts getting drama and all of that, like, cut it out quick, you know, because it's just like, do you need to really break your own heart, like, for you to win in your craft and, like, become, I don't know, like a master at work,
Yeah.
I don't think so,
Because I think that's a saying in art, right? Like, people feel like hardships or going through heartbreaks usually creates great art. And I feel like, to some extent, artists are dramatic. Maybe it's a conscious choice almost. They like the ups and downs. Otherwise, life feels dead a little bit, like when it's so just stable and smooth. And I think sometimes I see it happen. Like, their life is great, but they just want drama. That's when drama happens.
I think you're right about that. I think that some people, they're addicted to drama. Like, they think that that's life. I think that maybe because I'm older, I'm like, I don't want that.
I also don't want that, but I feel like, if you're so, like, always stable and peaceful and, like, what's the word, like just not very analytical and not emotional, like, can you still be a good artist in that way?
I think so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so relieving.
I think so. I mean, I am. This is my house all the time, unless I feel like throwing music on. But it's calm.
Yeah.
And I live really chill. But when it comes to showtime, I know how to turn it on. And I know how to, even if I'm acting, that's where I get out all my drama and all that stuff that I might have pent up in me. That's when it's healthy and I put it in my work. I don't want to put it in my life.
Yeah.
Like, why would I want to be responsible for my own heartbreak? Why would I want to be responsible for the drama that I'm attracting in my life because of the choices that I'm making? It's not necessary. I'd rather play the role instead of be the role.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's a good point. It's like you can still experience that, but in a conditioned environment, and there's no harm in your actual life.
Exactly.
Wow, that's interesting. Like, so you can be an actor and it's healthy in that way, right? Like,
100%.
Wow.
I definitely do not want to take that home with me. No. I want my mind to be peace. I don't want none of that. I'd rather put it in my work.
Well, actually, speaking on that note, I mean, it's the last question. Just, have you taken acting class before, or have you tried, like, acting?
I'm professionally trained in acting.
Do you think that helps with dance, or do you find correlation in those two?
I think that if you're choosing to be an artist, and even if you just say, I just want to be a dancer, I really advise exploring acting. I advise it, because you are going to have a better sense of self. You're going to be able to recognize when you're out of alignment, when you're not in your truth, when it also supports you in being spontaneous. It supports you on reading your partner and acting from a place that's truthful. You know what I mean? Understanding space and beats, which you can utilize that in your musicality. There's a lot of correlations and a lot of things and parallels that you can take from acting that you could put in your dance, so that you can find freedom in your dance. 100%.
Wow. Where did you train your acting? And if for dancers in New York that want to try
my
that?
coach, well, I trained at Lee Strasberg. I'll be honest, I didn't like it there. I didn't like Lee Strasberg, no shade. But I found my home with Matthew Corzine. Matthew Corzine, like, he's the truth, man. Like, he has a way of, allowing you to, like, he has a way of, like, stripping you from the the things that you build up that hold you back. You understand me? Does that make sense? Like all these these barriers that we create as humans to protect ourselves, so that because we want to be seen but we're afraid to be seen.
Yeah.
He has a way of he rips it off you, you can really achieve serious breakthroughs with that man. I absolutely love him.
Is he still based in New York?
Yes, he is. And right now he's back in New York. I mean, he's always been in New York. He also was training in Miami, Florida, but he's back full-time in New York City right now.
And he teach acting? Oh.
Yes.
Send me. I'll put in the show notes too for those who are.
Yeah, absolutely. He's wonderful. And he's a good human, and he cares about his students. And I've seen him fight for his students, where they start becoming, for lack of better words, victimized, or maybe they don't have the strength in themselves to find it in themselves to fight for themselves. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But he fights for people. And he just lights people's ass on fire and be like, no, you're not gonna quit. So he's one person that is a true mentor. I feel like I've learned life lessons in his classes.
Mm-hmm. Wow. About
being human, and how fucked up it can be, and we still show up in this life wanting to love, so it's great. He's awesome.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing so many, I think I learned so much more about you in this session, and thank you so much for sharing.
You're absolutely welcome.
Well, for you guys listening, we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.